Good morning and welcome to today's edition of TVC Breakfast. This is the first working day of the week. My name is Etoma Edu.
And yes, good morning, Nigeria. What a beautiful Monday. I love Mondays because I love my job. Thank you for joining us right here. There's a lot to talk about on the show today, from FCT brief to trending, whatnot. There's a lot to serve you right here. I am Ria Abdul.
Good morning, I'm Sam Omashe.
It feels good to be back on your screens. I'm Ibrahim Shita. The break is over and it's time to get back to business.
The break is very much over. We actually missed you, Ibrahim.
Good
and
morning.
you can see Ibrahim added a little bit of weight.
Yes.
Do you think so?
So the leave worked
my
for
suit
you.
still fits the same weight.
No, it was still fit because, yes, you added weight, but you did not.
You didn't really
I
expand.
didn't explode.
But welcome back.
However, you look very rested, and I'm sure you are guns blazing.
We love it for you.
Come on.
We love it for you. Welcome back.
It was just very busy for me. Although I had to be reading books and books and books and books.
Yeah.
But just few times to take about 7 of them after downloading about 21 books to read. But then we're back here.
Amazing.
What a leave. And I saw the article you wrote too, and quite nice too.
Thank you.
Quite a good one.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're going to have a great show, but let's begin. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada takes over as ECOWAS chairman. Now he succeeded President Bola Tinubu following the ECOWAS summit in Abuja. TVC News State House correspondent Femi Akande tells us more.
For President Bola Tinubu, it was a profound honor and privilege to have led the esteemed regional bloc, adding that he remained deeply humbled by the trust and support extended to him throughout his 2-term tenure. Now the president of Sierra Leone will steer the affairs of ECOWAS as it seeks to enhance regional integration and cooperation, and it is also facing existential security threats from terror groups.
We must equally confront the stark and persistent challenges that continue to impede our aspirations. Foremost among them at the moment are the security threats, violent extremism, and other cross-border crimes that have continued to widen and deepen their intensity.
In parts of our region, the constitutional order has been disrupted. Yet, across West Africa, citizens, especially our youth, are demanding not just elections, but accountability, transparency, and a fair stake in national life.
After an eventful 2-year tenure as chairman of ECOWAS, President Bola Tinubu expressed deep concern over the slow pace of activating the ECOWAS standby force. He urged West African leaders to swiftly transition from concept to reality in the collective fight against terrorism and transnational crimes, emphasizing the urgency of operationalizing the force amid escalating insecurity across the sub-region.
No single nation can therefore address these challenges alone. We must strengthen coordination, amplify political will, and prioritize a collective approach to security. This is why the ECOWAS standby force must move from the concept to operational reality now. I am a little bit worried about the slow pace of its activation, which is taking longer than desired.
It would be difficult to point to the causes of the hike in attacks, but what I can say for sure is that the threat we are facing cannot be handled by one country alone. This is why joint efforts are important, and this is why the president is saying that we need to act fast on the ECOWAS standby force.
President Tinubu emphasized the need to preserve democratic values and ensure that political stability is not separated from economic development. He called for the speedy implementation of key regional infrastructure projects, including the West Africa Gas Pipeline, West Africa Power Pool, and Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway, as catalysts for development and integration. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
Yes, you're welcome back. You know, if there's anything I love about the ECOWAS, is you can see that they have done democracy really well. So after every 2 years, we see that power will change hands. You know, we've seen the president of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, we've seen the president of Nigeria, the president of Guinea, and now the president of Sierra Leone. Yeah. And it's just beautiful to see that they have diversified. You know, it's not just from one, you see different people. Now, the question is, you know, would this new president, the Sierra Leone president, there's a lot that has been lacking in terms of insecurity, food and everything. Now my question is, you think that he will be able to pull through and leave the legacy that President Bola Tinubu has? Etoma?
Yes, for you to be president of ECOWAS, it's a heavy weight on your shoulder, and being president of ECOWAS around this period where we're having widespread insecurity, how do they call it, the Sahel route of where that amidst terrorists all over West Africa is going on. President Bio is not going to have a holiday as president of ECOWAS. However, he is president of a country. That connotes that he's used to hard work. That connotes also that he's used to teamwork, you know, and we hope that the hard work and teamwork and then the collaboration with previous ECOWAS presidents will help him a whole lot. I just wish him 2 years of achievements, and the ECOWAS standby force that President Tinubu is pushing for, that it should be put together fast enough. I hope he achieves that in his first 6 months.
And you know, like I always say, Nigeria is very big when you talk about West African countries, and Nigeria will always be part and will always have a say, even though now that we have a president from Sierra Leone being chairman. But Uncle Sam, I'll come to you quickly. In terms of security, you know, with the borders having different ECOWAS countries, in terms of security, do you think this new the president of Sierra Leone will be able to leave the legacies that president has left?
It is a very tricky thing because we call them president of ECOWAS, of Association of States. Well, how much powers do they have? It's more ceremonial than substantial. So when we talk about security, it is a matter of what individual states want to contribute to the collective peace and harmony of the sub-region. The thing, though, is that all of them, especially Nigeria, Niger, all of them have a stake because of the onslaught of all kinds of bands and bandits from the Sudan, from Libya, and they are all coming that the jihadis with a lot of heavy religious commitments on their heads, you know, coming down to this sub-region. There's no sense of collective urgency yet among the states. And the job of the ECOWAS leader is to use soft power, because it doesn't really have hard power. It's to use what Joseph Nye of Harvard calls soft power. And how you're able to do that is going to be very interesting, especially at a time where some states are exploiting the whole idea of authoritarian rule and military rule in order to band against the democratic states. It becomes more difficult because cooperation has to be across egos, not across borders.
Especially when you're seeing that, you know, it's all the states of ECOWAS community, the community states, they are sovereign states, and there is just little or nothing that they can do when it comes to making direct impact on each and individual state. But if you look at President Maada of Sierra Leone, he is a hardliner when it comes to the rule of law, when it comes to, you know, saying that we need to, you know, impose sanctions on some of these Sahelian states, you know, these states that have been taken over by the coup. Talk about Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. So, but one of the things that he had actually advanced is to say that his focus would be on democracy, institutional credibility, regional integration, and security cooperation. But in all of this, there is one thing to say, we will do this. It's another thing for them to be able to you know, see it through, because especially with the global, you know, insecurity, the global you know, crisis that is ravaging, you know, from, you know, Palestinian Israeli war, now extended to Iran, with US now coming in, and all of this. And then we have some of them saying that, okay, we'll come to Africa and see how everything is going to be destabilized. But we want peace in this ECOWAS region. We want a region, a bloc that is very strong, virile, just the way our forefathers started it.
And for me, I'll still highlight on peace, insecurity, and also to provide food for, a lot of ECOWAS countries, because we've seen the hardship. We're not even going to lie that there's been a lot of hardship. So at this point, I just pray that he's able to do a better job than, our president has done, and take it and just make sure that we see all ECOWAS countries come together.